Hey family, it's me, Dr. Pyant, Mindset for Freedom. So I'm going to say again, just in case you didn't see my other video when I first told you that I locked my hair again. I'm turning around so you can see it. Well, I didn't lock it, my daughter did it for me. I liked my short hair. I liked the look. I was fine with it, and I'm grateful that I was, because I was always challenged as a young girl with having short hair. But after the chemo and the cancer and everything, I had to cut my hair. So my hair was very long. If you look at some earlier, like my post that comes on, earlier when I had my locks, I wore them for like 9 or 10 years. So it was really a transition to cut them off. But when you have rewired and reset yourself, everything is different. I didn't have the trauma. First of all, you go from what I'm going to say is a soul level, like that lower level, that reptilian brain, where you don't really have any insight from the spirit. When you have a reset, when your mind is being renewed and you're practicing a life of gratitude, a life of peace, and you're learning different things and you're listening to more positive things, you don't process things the same way. And I didn't know then about how the brain actually operates. I recently was guided through the spirit to take these courses on how to help people with complex trauma. And all of a sudden, up in my feed kept coming with all of this neuroscience of the brain. And I've always been interested in how we operate. Like, why do we do the things we do? And why is it that some people seem to be able to get over things a little faster than others? We come from a very, most of us, I'm not talking about all of us, come from a very judgmental society. And we look at the outward man and we don't really know what's going on inside of a person's life. That's why I'm so grateful that I learned later in life, but I learned, don't judge people. Don't criticize them. People are going to be what they're going to be until they change. But God has a way for everybody. If you want it, you have to want it. So back to how I didn't process that in a very traumatizing way, was that God had already reset me. So I was feeling good about myself. And of course, my frequency was at a certain level that I got so many compliments. I was like, okay, I can rock this, I can do this, and I did it. But the maintenance of that hair, child, I was invested in Amazon, to keep it curly. And then it started growing and I had to put more curly stuff on it to make it curl. I was like, every day, no, this is not going to work. So finally it grew enough to, I said to my daughter, I said, I'm ready to lock my hair. So that is why I locked it again. And I love locks, that's my role. And I'm just grateful. So I just wanted to share that with you because, we're family. And you say, well, why you lock your hair and blah, blah, blah. That's what we do, especially as women. We talk to each other, things like that. So anyway, that wasn't the thought of the post today, but it still has something to do with it, because I told you that I'm grateful, and I want you to learn to have a practice and an attitude of gratitude, because that's what lifts your frequency up. I want you to learn to speak over your life. Speak positive things over your life, like, say we're troubled with things from the past. The past can hold me back, because I'm the master of my thoughts. I wrote some things down because I really wanted to talk to you. And sometimes when I'm on with you, there are some things that I think of afterwards and I'm just like, oh man, I should have said that to them too. But I asked God to help me to refine me and to season me, so that my message to you is impactful, because I want to impact your life with things that have impacted me and things that I know will help you shift. Your frequency has to be at a certain level. And one way to get it there is to speak over your life. Wake up with an attitude of gratitude. When things are happening in your life, you say, I am the captain of my ship. Say to yourself, I see each new day as a chance to progress, and that the more that I change my life, the more I can impact the lives of others. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Here's another one. I release all fears and doubts. I let them go. I release them. So tonight, my focus with you is speak over your life. Excuse me, can you mute that? I'm sorry. I came out to do my video, but my sister, she wasn't aware that I'm recording. But I told you before, it's always a distraction of things that come into your frame that try to distract you and to keep you from doing what it is you need to do. But I just raised my frequency above. So you're going to hear us a little family feud in the background. Hey, we just know Steve Harvey is on in the background, but we're talking to each other. So we'll hear Steve Harvey, because I'm not going to stop the video and yell over to her, because that's what I would have to do. I tried that, but she didn't hear me. So I'll just let it roll. So yeah, I want you to speak over your life, because did I tell you that I took this course on how to help people understand their brain, how the brain works with complex trauma. Now, complex trauma is very interesting, because most people, I don't know if you're hearing anybody, but they're leveled with PTSD. That's the same thing as complex trauma. So everybody has trauma. And I told you before, trauma is drama, because it interrupts the flow of your life. We are here to make an impact, but we can't do that if we're constantly in fear and doubt and shame. Forgive yourself. Things that happened years ago, I want to teach you how. Let them go. Feel your feelings for them. You were probably a kid. How can you, as a child, fight off a pedophile? You ain't got no match for them and that spirit that's leading them. I know I wasn't no match for one. So I tell you things that I know some things about, things that I have experienced in my life, because I want you to be free too. See, God has set me free and allowed me to live. That bone marrow transplant has allowed me to live. And I'm telling you, I feel good. So I want to use my life, my voice, for freedom. That came to me about 6 months ago. Use your voice for freedom. So you have to be able to speak over your life. I want to be able to teach you. If you want to know how to reset, if you're ready for change, if you're ready to shake this off, that you've been walking through this drama of your life, you got the right person. You just keep listening. We got this. And if you need some one-on-one time and some one-to-one time, I'm learning how to check my messages and my DM. I don't know how to do all that stuff yet. I just know that God had put me in place to be able to speak to his people. But I didn't know. My son told me today, he said, Ma, you've got people on TikTok that are messaging you in your comments. I said, well, where's that at? So he guided me through. So if you've messaged me, please, I apologize. My humble apologies to you. I didn't even know how to find the comments. And I'm just grateful for people to talk to me, because I'm talking to you. So talk back to me. Talk back to your girl. Hey. So yeah, I tell you, like and share the video. But now I'm learning how to respond to comments. But I'm getting there. So I am here to serve women who have experienced trauma and who are ready for transformation. And I'm not just here for women, because I am a female, so I can relate and resonate with you about how you perceive things. But let me tell you something. I have some male clients too. And I can resonate with them, because trauma is trauma. And we don't want to relive it. But sometimes we have to bring it up so that the therapist or the coach or whoever's guiding you can guide you to see that from a different light, That's why I was telling you that things that happened to you at a younger age, see that. If your parents left you or there was something that happened to you at a younger age, see that now when you are 20 years older. And look back at that picture and say to yourself, they did the best they could. My dad didn't dislike me. It wasn't something that I did. It was something that they were going through. It was adult drama that they were going through. But you felt abandoned. And now you have trouble with attachments. You have trouble with relationships. And I can tell you this also, in addition to what I have learned, in addition to what I know, the word is cortisol. You have got to get that cortisol level down. Because cortisol means stress. Like trauma means drama. High cortisol levels means that you have stress in your life. And when you have complex stress and a lot of stress, you might be suffering from not being able to sleep at night. You might be suffering from not being able to make concrete decisions, from not being able to feel safe in a relationship with a significant other. Is that you? Am I talking to you? Because it might be. And I understand you numbing it out. I understand truly about addiction. But God has led me to study how the brain works and how it operates. And I'm coming to share this with you. I'll share things, little bits and pieces as I talk to you. And I want you to do the research, study, dig it up. Find out, what does the hippocampus in my brain do? Take some time. But I've done deep studies. And I understand that the hippocampus is covered with cortisol. And when you are stressed, your high level of stress of cortisol goes and attracts itself to the hippocampus. And that panoramic view that the hippocampus had when you were in love or when you were okay or when things have happened, it doesn't have that view of that anymore because it's offline. And it's signaling the amygdala. That's your survival mode. And it's sending it the wrong signals. So you don't understand why you're in constant fear, why you're in constant fight, why you're in constant running from things, why you can't seem to settle yourself down. That's why. But these are things that will help you. Doing your breathing will help you. Take that deep breath. Feel your belly expand itself. Breathe in with me. Hold it. And I want you to feel what God's love feels like. Feel it. Just embrace the Creator. Embracing you, hugging you, loving you. Feel it. Release that breath. But every time you breathe in this week, I want you to breathe in love. And I want you to feel God. God loves us. He is not a God of judgment and condemnation. He is a God that loves his people. And he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And God meant that. You just have to remember it. So I just want you to remember, you radiate with love. And you need to radiate knowing that you influence others. If your frequency is low, are you yelling at your children? Are you snapping at your significant other? Are you getting pissed off with people on your job? What's going on with you? Your mindset. I'm here to help you have a mindset for freedom. I want you to say, fear no longer lives here. Self-doubt has no place in my mind. And I see every day as a new chance to progress. I do. I hope you do too. I didn't want to keep you too long tonight, but I'm glad that you're listening. And I know that you're working on your mindset for freedom. I've heard from so many of you already. So share and like this video and drop me a comment on Instagram, on TikTok. I didn't check the comments on YouTube, but I'm on YouTube. So just in case you people don't go on TikTok and Instagram, send them to YouTube, to the Mindset for Freedom. But thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon. Dr. Pyant, Mindset for Freedom.